I have quite the build challenge for you today. Basically, there's these things called shell challenges that a lot of the Sims community does. A lot of times you'll build like one big box shape of a building, no roofs, just walls kind of put together, and just the exterior walls. And then you put it on the gallery and people download it and try and do the whole interior, rotate the lot, move it to a bigger lot, change the whole thing. And then you have this one building that has now become like hundreds of different, completely different builds. It's a really cool challenge. I've done a lot of them on my own channel. And my friend Zefrine made this sort of like puzzle piece shell challenge, which I've seen done before. I know Kate Emerald has one going on right now as well. But Zeph's a streamer, and I heard about this and I was like, okay, I need to do this too. So basically, you get this lot off the gallery. It's called the Broken Shell Challenge. It's by Zefrine_TV on the gallery. And it's just a bunch of rooms. And then the goal is you have to move the rooms together somehow. You can't delete any walls, but you have to put them together in some sort of way. However you choose to do it, that builds a house, right? You are allowed to change the walls into half walls or fences or spandrels, so you could do things like this. That's part of the rules for this one. So that is allowed, but otherwise you can't delete any of these walls. And then once you have the house all together, you have to figure out a floor plan, decorate it, all that good stuff. But these existing walls on the exterior always have to remain. You can never delete them. So at the end of the day, you have a house that's very obviously made up of these puzzle pieces. You can't add anything extra to it. It's gotta be just these pieced together somehow. And this really appealed to me, so I decided to give it a shot. I'm gonna show you a speed build of me doing this. I must warn you that it took me 2 tries. I built a whole exterior of a house, and it was so bad and I couldn't roof it that I bulldozed the lot and tried again. But I decided to leave that original attempt in the video because you deserve to see. So I was starting out trying to make some sort of like Cape Cod house, kind of similar to the things that are in Brindleton Bay. That's what I was going for originally, because I figured like those long skinny pieces could work well as a second floor for a house like that, but I just couldn't make it work. So I tried so hard to piece it together. I was moving things around. Like, this kind of gives you a good idea of how difficult it was. Like, I had to do the whole thing and then just flat out give up. But I really wanted to have a second floor. Like, that was my inspiration, was I wanted to have that second floor upstairs. I just, at the end, could not make it work. I did end up using one of the pieces as a balcony because you're allowed to change the walls into fences. So I made that like L-shaped piece into a wraparound porch at the front of the house. And that was kind of my inspiration for the whole thing. After I bulldozed this attempt and tried again, I decided to be like, you know what? We can't do this. We have to start over. So I just bulldozed it. Keep in mind, I spent like 40 minutes doing this on stream. And then I was like, no. And I just deleted the whole thing and tried again. So my poor chat that was there was watching me struggle for so long, and then I was like, no, just delete it. It's fine. I feel like this kind of challenge is really fun for stream because you get to like experience the pain real time. So I will link my Twitch channel down below. I do all kinds of things like this on Twitch, and I'll also link Zefrine's Twitch channel down below, the person who actually made this shell challenge. If you don't follow her, she's super fun. She does all kinds of building on Twitch. She's a sim streamer as well, so you might like her content a lot. So I'll link that for you. And I'll also link Kate Emerald because I mentioned her name, and she's a super talented building YouTuber who also has a puzzle piece shell challenge. In fact, a harder puzzle piece shell challenge that I still kind of want to try. I'm not sure when it's over. It might have ended already. The technical, like, official challenge might have ended, but I still want to try it, so I might do that. This was an easier one. This was like a warm-up, The Zefrine one is like an easy place to start, because I know that Kate's is way more difficult. So if I couldn't even do this, which I think it turned out okay in the end, you'll see it kind of comes together. But this initial attempt is embarrassing. Like, what I'm trying to do here is really embarrassing. And you can't move the walls, right? Like, so I'm so used to building in a way where I'm like, oh, this doesn't fit, let me just shrink it. Or, oh, I want like, a dormer, let me just add one. Well, with this challenge, you can't add any additional walls. You only have the rooms that already exist. So I was trying to like arrange them in a way that made sense, and then I realized that it wasn't working, and it was quite the chaotic moment. You are allowed to add porches though. Like, you're allowed to add flat rooms if you want. You just can't add extra walls, and you're allowed to change the existing walls into fences. So I kind of made use of that a little bit. But at the end of the day, this house was just not working. I just could not do it. So I bulldozed this one and then we started over completely, back on a fresh lot, and we tried it again. This new version ends up being only one story, which I think makes a lot more sense. So I managed to do it like that. We also managed to fit 3 bedrooms in the new version. So it's kind of hard to tell right now, but once I actually get it going, you'll kind of get an idea for it. I think it gives you a better feel for it. So there's like a master suite on the left side of the house, and then there's 2 kids' bedrooms on the right side, which I feel like makes a lot of sense. And keep in mind, once you build the house, you're allowed to add interior walls. Obviously, you can make a floor plan. You just can't add exterior walls. So I got like a little bathroom area in the parents' room. I was able to add a nice kitchen. Like, we managed to make it work. It just took us a second to get there, right? I also made use of that little spandrel sneaky cheat where you can change a wall into a spandrel, because that way I could have a slightly more open floor plan. So I changed one of the walls into a spandrel, and this was sneaky, but keep in mind, Zeph was in the chat, the person who made the challenge, and she said it was okay. But I changed one of the entire walls into a spandrel, and so one of the kids' rooms is like technically 2 rooms in game. Like, there would have been a wall straight through it if I hadn't made it into a spandrel, but I tried to make it make sense. I made it into like a little built-in desk space in the kids' room, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll explain more once we get there. I think the roof was one of the hardest parts. I was trying to figure out if I could make like a dormer or something upstairs, but I ended up not being able to do that. I think at the end of the day though, the roof actually makes a lot of sense, and it worked out pretty well. It has that big wraparound porch. It's got a nice bump out at the front, and I do like the layout of the house. Like I was saying, like the parents' room being on one side of the house and having their own suite, I think makes a lot of sense. Like, it's sort of nice in a real house to have like the master suite on one side and the other bedrooms all on the other side. My parents' house is kind of like that. They have like one side of the house has only their room, and then the other side has like my brother and sister and I's rooms, and then the middle is the rest of the house, like the living room and the kitchen. It kind of makes sense. It makes it feel a bit fancier, even if it's not actually fancy. You know, this house is not by any means fancy, but it feels nicer. It's like a nice retreat for the parents and the primary suite, you know? Once we get started here, you'll see it coming together. In my head, initially, I was thinking that one little 4x3 room could be a bathroom, because it just made the most sense to a little small box, so it would be a bathroom. I added the parents' room and their bathroom off to the side, and then I was gonna put the kitchen in the back corner and then try and like sneak in an extra bedroom and a hallway and stuff over there. But it was kind of hard to do because we had these weird like walls in the way that we couldn't move, so it was kind of a struggle. And then at the end, I managed to switch where I initially had the kitchen with the bathroom. So you'll see it kind of come together with those spandrels that I was talking about. So one of the walls on the right used to be a wall. Now it's just a spandrel straight across, which is a little bit sneaky, I will admit, but it was allowed, it was legal, I checked. And you know what, I must admit that I think at the end of this challenge, this house did not look like it was a weird shell challenge. And I think that's always the goal, because there's gonna be some weird parts that you wish you could change that you can't, because you're sort of stuck with the weird shell. But I think at the end of this one, it really doesn't look like it's a weird shell. Like, I think it turned out pretty nicely. It looks like it was supposed to be this way and not forced to be this way, which again is what you want. But speaking of forced to be some way, do you want to hear what happened to me last night about TikTok? I have a TikTok account, or I should say I had a TikTok account. I've only ever posted like 4 TikToks. 2 were like cut down versions of clips from my Twitch streams, and then the other 2 were just me like staring at the camera doing filters. You know, the one where like the bar goes down and as it's going it freezes your face? One was that, other one was the new twin filter. So I posted a TikTok on Sunday, right? Hadn't posted in months. Again, wasn't even talking, just me staring at the screen with a filter. I never comment on TikToks. Like, I've probably commented like 5 times max ever on a TikTok video, and it was like my boyfriend's TikToks. But last night before bed, I was just scrolling through TikTok, you know, browsing the app as one does, and then all of a sudden it pops up and it's like, your account has been permanently banned due to multiple community guidelines violations. And I was like, whoa, hello, what? How could I violate the community guidelines if I don't even post, let alone multiple community guidelines violations? And I never got like an email, no warning. It didn't say what I did. It just banned me and deleted my account. So if you're looking for my TikTok, it doesn't exist because apparently I have violated multiple community guidelines. I have tried to contact support about this, but there's no like official way to appeal it. And they also haven't told me what I did because I didn't do anything. So I've been like racking my brain trying to figure out what possibly could have been the issue, because I know a few other YouTubers got banned recently, but I'm pretty sure they got reinstated. But didn't George Not Found and Tommy Innit both get banned from TikTok for like no reason? So number one, do they possibly think that I'm impersonating myself? Because I'm not. it was me on TikTok. Or because I read on the internet that TikTok was like really cracking down on accounts of people that are under 13. Maybe people like reported me as being under 13 and then they were just like, okay, ban, and then didn't ask. And that's why, like, do they think I'm a child? Because I'm not. I also certainly didn't make the account when I was underage. I'm 21, so I don't know what happened. So I'll let you know how that goes. But I have been banned from TikTok. You heard it here first, everybody. I am a criminal, apparently. I also like don't have a lot of followers on TikTok. I had like 10,000 TikTok followers. So they're probably not gonna care that much to like reinstate my account. So I guess we'll see what happens. For now, I am TikTokless. I'm a little bit sad about it because I kind of like TikTok. I didn't post on it very much because I don't really know what to post on TikTok. Like it makes me nervous, but I liked to browse and now I can't because I am a criminal. It's fine. It's kind of funny, to be honest. Like I got banned on TikTok for no reason. I swear it was kind of scary because again, I was in the app, like just browsing, and then all of a sudden, boom, locks me out, like pops up notification being like, you violated too many community guidelines. I thought it was a glitch at first, and then it wasn't because my account was deleted. So it wasn't like a random glitch. No, I was deleted. Anyway, I wanted to let you all know, in case you missed it, that I am going to be live on Twitch for 12 hours today. So I would have been live for a few hours already when you're seeing this video, if you're watching it when it first uploads. But I did a charity stream like last month where I promised if we raised $2,500 for Feeding America, I would do a 12-hour Stardew Valley stream, and then we raised $32,000 for Feeding America that day. So we kind of blew that goal out of the water. So today is that stream. Today I'm gonna be playing Stardew Valley for 12 hours. If you don't know, Stardew Valley is a farming simulator and is a really fun game. I honestly believe that you will love it, and I'm not just kidding about that. I think if you like The Sims, you will also really enjoy this one. I think a lot of us have kind of similar tastes in games, so I'm vouching for this. You will like Stardew Valley, but usually in Stardew, it's kind of this chill farming game. There's a community center to repair. You mine and fish and farm and befriend the townies, but there's also this like evil capitalist route you can go. Instead of like doing the community center and slowly repairing it and stuff, you can just pay for all the upgrades. And I think I'm gonna try and do that this weekend. I'm gonna play Stardew Valley, except evil. I also want to try to date everyone all at once because I've only ever like, you know, played the nice way. I have never tried this route before. I have never been evil in Stardew. So I'm just gonna be a money machine and be evil in Stardew Valley this weekend, which will be a first for me. So if you want to come hang out and watch, I've never even seen anybody else play this way. I've kind of like avoided spoilers sort of by accident. So it should be kind of fun. I will link my Twitch channel down below. I stream every day on Twitch except for Sundays, but I stream every day on Twitch, and I play a lot of The Sims. Obviously I streamed this build originally on Twitch, but I also play other games like Stardew Valley sometimes for these 12-hour nightmare streams, but it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Stardew Valley is like probably my favorite game of all time. Well, I love The Sims, obviously, but Stardew Valley is up there with like one of my favorite games ever. It just makes me really happy, and I very much look forward to playing it for 12 hours straight. So that's what I'll be doing today. Anyway, back to the build for a second. You can see the floor plan actually makes sense now because it's got some furniture in it. I think it's kind of hard to see floor plans when I'm just like moving around the boxes. It's hard to see my intentions with it, but now that it's like actually got some furniture, the layout makes sense. So I was talking about before how I turned that little 4x3 into the kitchen. I turned one of the walls into spandrels and put the kitchen there, and it's kind of this big open floor plan with the dining, living, kitchen space. This is like a dream for me. I would love to have a big open space like this. I mean, right now where I live has all one room, dining, kitchen, living, but that's because it's very small. And there's not a lot of space for dining, kitchen, or living. So it's all in one little room because it's small. But this house is nice, big, open, wonderful spaces. This is a different kind of open living. It's a nice kind of open living. It's fancy. And it has a way bigger kitchen than I have. I would kill to have an island. That is like my dream. I'm watching this show called Hometown recently because I paid for Discovery Plus, and Discovery Plus has like a bunch of HGTV shows on it now. So I've been watching a lot of this show called Hometown, and this house kind of reminds me of the things they renovate on that show. They're in like Mississippi or something. And so they have a lot of these like more southern looking houses, obviously because they're in Mississippi. And this house kind of reminds me of those. Very similar vibes. Although I think theirs are usually a little bit more colorful with the furnishings. My furnishings aren't colorful. I don't know how to do it. I'm not good at that. And this house I was trying to make look more white and beige, but the combos are weird. It ends up working out. Just don't look too closely at it for now. This house is also, by the way, just the base game. I was trying to make sure anyone could download it, so I built this with just the base game. That's part of why it was so hard for me to furnish. I had like a severe lack of rugs. I really wanted more rugs, but we didn't have any options. So this house is basically base game only, and you could download it as well if you'd like. I think a lot of times with shell challenges, people feel really like inadequate with their shells because they only have one pack or whatever, but trust me, you don't need a lot of packs to make a cool shell challenge build. I know that sometimes to do like really creative, interesting things, like it's easier to have more packs because you have more options, but you don't need to have a lot of packs to make a cool build. I mean, as evidenced by this, although I guess I'm a little bit biased because I'm the one who built it, so I think it's cool, but maybe you think it's cool. I think it's cool, right? It's nice. You know, back in the day, I used to tell so many stories in my speed builds because I would just like talk about my day and what I've done so far that day. And usually I had more interesting things to say because I would like, you know, get out more. But recently, the past year with the pandemic, it's not really been happening so much. Honestly, the most interesting thing that has happened to me in months is getting banned on TikTok, which to be fair is pretty interesting. You gotta admit, it's kind of funny. So I guess it works. I just want my account back. I'm kind of sad about it, but I still think it's more funny than sad. Maybe I'll change my mind later down the line, but as of right now, I think it's funny still. It's still fresh. So, I mean, once I think about it more, it might sink in and I might change my mind, but for now we're good. Just generally though, honestly, I've been super busy this week. I have kind of an exciting announcement that I'll post about and stream about in a couple weeks, like with a sponsor, which is fun. I never get sponsored. But I've been super busy this week, like recording and having all these calls and stuff about it. So I've been very stressed and like overwhelmed by this, but I finished that yesterday. So we got that out of the way. We did it. It's always a really big relief to like have a project you're working on and then like be done with it. You know, it's like we can breathe. We've done it. It's over. We made it. It's good. Like that's where I'm at right now, is I'm feeling this just like relief that I finally got through that. And now I'm like over and done and ready. So I guess that's news, and it's less scary TikTok ban news. So I suppose that helps. But anyway, the bedrooms now, you can see this is the room I was talking about with like the spandrel that's through it. So technically the shell, there's supposed to be a wall, one more tile in, but I wanted the room to be slightly bigger because it's so tiny. I wanted it to make more sense. And so I made that wall into a spandrel, expanded it a little bit, made a little desk nook, and then still have that entryway door. So it works. The original walls are all still there, but the room is slightly bigger and has a spandrel through it. I don't think it's that out of the ordinary though. I think it kind of makes sense. It just, you know, is a little bit weird looking. But when you know why I did it, it's okay. The other room though is absolutely massive. It's bigger than the parents' room as well, but I couldn't really make it smaller very easily, and I was just using base game, so I was thinking like, do I put a closet? Oh, can't, because we don't have get together. And so I was trying to like figure out a way to make the room feel bigger. So I put 2 beds in here. It took me a long time to like figure out how I wanted it to be laid out, but there's 2 beds and 2 desks, so 2 kids could share this room, and it ends up working eventually. It took me some time to like get this room to make sense, and I was trying to like use different colors than usual, and I always use that blue bed with the flowers because I just like it so much. So I ended up changing it to be a different color scheme. It ends up being blue and orange instead, which is good. You see, I'm trying to branch out a little bit with my bedrooms because I'm not good at that, and I know that's my problem. I know I have an issue with that, but I use like a floral wallpaper in the pink kids room, and this one's got the blue and orange. That's different. See? I'm branching out. I do think this room was way too big though. Like, I wish this room was a lot smaller, but I can't do anything about that, right? I mean, the room is just very large. So what are you gonna do? I tried for a while to make like an L-shaped desk work maybe, and then that looked kind of weird. So I ended up just settling on 2 desks and letting each of the kids have their own desks. But I really wanted to have like a bunch of desk space because, you know, it's 2 kids sharing the room, maybe even 2 teens. Like, it's hard to say. It just, the L thing was not working. It looked very odd. So I scrapped the L-shaped desk thing. I went back to just 2 separate ones, and at the end of the day, I think it makes more sense. I really tried to make the L shape work. Maybe I'll make a house with an L-shaped desk eventually. I think the L shape is better when it's just one person sitting at it. The shape that I was trying to do and have the 2 desks and like the 2 chairs at the desk, it really did not work in an L shape. It was way too close together. It looked very weird and out of place. Like, we were not into that. So don't worry, I went back, we put it back to 2 separate ones. And then the last room to furnish was the parents' room, which was a lot easier to do because it wasn't so big and empty. Like, I put a big square rug, I've got a nice bed, they have their own bathroom. This house turned out pretty cute layout wise, like I was saying before, but it's like a pretty generic, you know, double bedroom. I don't usually furnish the parents' rooms that much. I always make very generic ones. I don't know why. In my head, the master bedrooms are always just so bland. Like, I just don't care about them, which is weird. I should put more effort into them, I guess. I always have this problem. One thing of note, though, is those curtains I'm using, they might look weird to you because they're kind of big. That's not like a special curtain. It's not a pack curtain. That's just a base game curtain, but sized up. So don't worry. I didn't use like any special curtains or anything. That's just a base game curtain sized up to make it fit like that. I think it looks nice like that, but it is like really far off the wall, which is kind of annoying because the curtains are already kind of far off the wall. But when you size them up, there's like a massive gap between the curtain and the wall, and it looks kind of weird, but it looks okay from afar. And the curtains are nicer when they're bigger, so it works out. I wish we had more base game curtains. I wish we had those curtains in the base game, like the sized up version. That's like the perfect average curtain. I don't know why we have such skinny ones instead of those. Oh, what I would do for more rugs and more curtains. I mean, I don't ask for much, but we really need some more rugs and curtains in the base game. That is like our most severely lacking feature in the base game is rugs and curtains. I'd take some more like regular couches too. I swear, we don't have any just like normal couches. We do have one. The one I was trying to use originally, if you remember, it's like the one that you unlock from the tech guru career. It has 3 swatches, green, orange, and beige. And I wish that we had that couch because the cheapest base game couch looks kind of like plastic, but that one, the tech guru one, looks like a normal, like regular couch, except we don't have a lot of swatches on it and it's locked by a career. You have to like beat the career to get it. I don't know. I want more normal couches, just a plain couch. Also, you know, I'd take some sectionals, but ideally if I can't have a sectional, just give me a plain couch. It's not that much to ask, although apparently it is. So yeah, plain couches, rugs, and curtains. Plain for all 3. Plain rugs, plain curtains, plain couches. It's all I ask for. I don't need much. Just give me those 3. Maybe some plain bushes too, and then I'd be set. I wonder what the other kits we'll get in the future will be like. These won't be base game, which defeats the purpose, but if they ever made like a kit of just couches, perhaps, like imagine instead of having like a room, like we had a kitchen set, right? What if instead of like a whole kitchen set, it was like 10 couches or something, or I guess more like 20. I don't know. I guess because they added like 20 something items, but what if they gave us like 20 different couches? I would love that. That would be a dream come true. Like a bunch of sectionals maybe, and some 3 wide ones, some love seats, like some chairs. I would do anything for some living room furniture. And if they gave us like a full set of each, like a love seat, a sectional, a 3 wide one, a chair, like an armchair, all for each little couch set, I mean, that would go over very well in my opinion, but I'm a little bit biased. Anyway, the house is done. Remember, originally it was just this little set of boxes, and this is what I turned it into eventually. It costs 80,000 simoleons. It's 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. I don't think you can tell it was just some random boxes. I'm not a huge fan of the roofline, but I did the best I could. I like the big wraparound porch, but you can see all the original boxes. This was a room. This one was a room. This whole thing was a room. There was a room here originally. We had this long room here. This was a room. And then this was a room. So you can still see all those original walls with the spandrels. We've just obviously added some extra walls to help break it up. There's like a nice little cozy entryway that takes you into the parents' room. We have some couches that I wish had more swatches on them. I loved this entry with the archway into the living room and into the kitchen. I thought that was a nice touch. Also, the sink with the window is really cute. I liked the kitchen in here. I thought it was nice. I used the new dining set from the update. We've got the bathroom back here. So originally I was gonna have the kitchen here and a dining set here, and this was gonna be the bathroom, and then I realized that it makes way more sense to have like one big open room with the kitchen, dining, living, so we swapped them. And then there's like a little hallway to both of the bedrooms. This is what I was talking about with the weird spandrel, because there used to be a wall here, so this room is technically like 2 rooms, if you can see, but I wanted it to be a little bit bigger, even though the original box was like this, so I put an extra tile in there, but I tried to make it make sense with like a column and a built-in desk. We've got a kid's room, we have again the parents' room, and then this is the whole backyard. I think it's a pretty nice house. I like all the patio space. Like I would love to have a big porch. Anyway, one of these days I'll have a kitchen island and a nice porch. That is my dream. I will link Zefrine's channel down below again, and remember it's Zefrine_TV is her gallery ID if you want to get the boxes to make your own shell challenge. And on that note, I'm gonna go. Make sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe and do all those fun YouTube things. And in case you all didn't know, I post new videos every single day, and so I will see you all tomorrow. Bye everybody. You better watch out. You all shouldn't be associating with me. I'm a criminal. I am a banned criminal. Avoid me at all costs.